Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. How are you? My side, pretty good. Pretty good. I was just checking, just setting up and checking a few things, but I think we are pretty much ready. Pretty much ready. Yeah. Okay. So, hello, Soup. Hello, guys. We are streaming at the same time on Twitch and YouTube. So if you are interested, you can follow both places or in one of the two, the one you prefer. Just launching the editor now and maybe displaying our mission. So what we've been working on in the last few days was something related to decals. So the ability to put a certain image on an existing item in game, like a symbol, like could be a special symbol or sign on a shield, and we started with that, or let's say maybe a tattoo on the face of a character, or I mean some other symbols of guilds, things like that. So this is what we are trying to do. I'm still having a problem with this restream chat. Is like not working at all. I think while I'm speaking, I think I will try to contact, anyway, since we are recording, I will try to contact the support, the technical support. Technical support answers very quickly, usually on restream, so it's pretty good. Okay, I'm just sending them a message and see what they say. So let's review our mission meanwhile, and I will try to keep open, since the chat is not working at all, I will try to keep open my let me try to send a message here in YouTube directly. Yes, this works. And maybe I will keep open also Twitch, because the other day, yesterday there was someone connected and unfortunately I didn't see it at all. So the result was that this guy was chatting with me the whole time, and I didn't read a single message. So what is the chat? Okay, the chat is here. So let me try to keep this chat on the other screen if I can, so I can see, you know, both chats in case someone. Let me just send a message there. Okay, send a message there, and so I can somehow keep an eye. I hope I can keep an eye. It's not very easy because there are so many windows. Okay, so there is the mission of Decal. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to learn about the basic of decals, to follow a tutorial on it and ensure that, you know, we understand how it works, and I think we did it. This one is done. We understood we have two options, option 1 and option 2. Option 1 is to use the decal actor, which is and the second option, which is using a decal actor, which is an actor in the game, so a specific object. But this one, we understood it can be used on walls and ground, and in general on flat surfaces, and you can read a bit of the text of pros and cons. So the second option is to lerp two textures. With lerp we mean this chart, and for everyone that I think I will post it somewhere because I think it can be useful to multiple people. But basically we are using this lerp between one image with alpha and one texture with a normal map. So, and all of that is getting properly. So you get a proper overlap. So if you look at here, you have this shield texture and you have this symbol in the middle, which has been, let's say, overlapped thanks to this special material, right? So that is the way it is, and it's working pretty well. So what I did after I left you, I tried to add this functionality into our player character. So at the moment is very hard coded, let me say. It's really hard coded, it's just an example. But basically whenever I press U on the keyboard, the game is switching the current symbol with another symbol, and is also changing the color, because the color as a default is like blue, I think, and I change it to this orange color, right? And after that we are setting the material. I'm just looking at why I'm very surprised that why this one is not connected. This set material is not connected. How is it possible? Okay, it's working also without setting the material back. Probably because I'm creating an instance of the same material, and so it's not really needed to set the material back. Could be. I mean, I'm surprised I have it this way, actually. So this one was actually disconnected, which is interesting. So let's try it again and see what happens if this is connected. Yes, I have to check out this one is fine. So let me launch it and see if I can run it. So let me see what happens. Okay, I'm logging in. Okay. I will show you what I did, and I think it works pretty good. It works pretty well, actually. Is it logging in or no? Connection timed out. Why? Server didn't start, it seems. Maybe it crashed? I don't know. Let me see. Let's start the server again. Seems that the server didn't start properly. Hello, Forgiven. How are you? Oh yeah, since the server is crashing. Did I stop MySQL? I think I did. I think we don't have a database running, but I think I rebooted my machine. Yeah, I think I rebooted my machine. So let's start the database. That's why the server is not running, because the database is down. As soon as the database is up, I think we can launch it again. Okay, now it should work. Yeah, it's a bit hard for me to keep up with the two chats because I don't have. I mean, there are a bit of too many windows. Hello, Zwei. Welcome. And if you hear me greeting someone else, is that you don't see in the chat, is because they are on the other in the other stream, meaning YouTube or Twitch. Right? Okay, the server is up now, so this client should log in now. Yeah, it is. Okay, so as you can see, unfortunately, sorry, the way he holds the shield is not the best. Okay, so but it's just a matter of the way we set up the socket. So don't worry about it. But you see that the shield actually has the symbol, right? The default symbol. So which is the one that I set up in the material. So we are expecting this symbol to be there, let's say, all the time. And I can show it to you maybe a bit better like this, right? So it doesn't really, let's say, wait 1 second, I have to override daylight, otherwise we will not see anything. It doesn't seem to be, you know, too much outstanding from the shield. I mean, a bit yes, because it's like a decal on top, so it's not, maybe it's not the best, you know, in terms of integration or merging or blending. Let's call it blending, but we can probably, you know, improve that. The good thing is if I press U, and I have to do it when I'm in my character view, like this. So here I'm in game, I'm playing. If I press U, you see the symbol is changing. And maybe it's not very easy to see this way, but if I just zoom on him, you see the symbol definitely changed, and now it's another one. Now this one is red, so it's red or orange or whatever, so it's a bit better integrated with the shield. The shield looks up to have kind of a low resolution compared to the symbol, so when you go too close it kind of stands out, but when you are at a reasonable distance, I think it's okay. It is a bit of the fact that these textures were, say, made kind of long time ago, and some of them are still low resolution, so we may decide to, you know, to switch it. But basically this demonstrates that we can somehow programmatically change a symbol on an item, right? If it's set up properly. And at the moment I'm just using these two symbols, but we can make as many symbols as we want. So which this brings us to the next, you know, kind of the next questions, which is, how do we want the system to actually work? And I think I have expressed it in my, let me take a new picture, because I think this picture is nicer, even if he's holding the shield in a stupid way, but I think this picture is nicer. So let me stamp it, create a new, paint, and paste it here, and crop this part. I think it looks cool anyway, I like it. So maybe this is a bit too big. Ouch. Yeah. Okay, so this will be our new image here. And this one I would say we can delete, which was the old one. Nice. So so this we did. Now obviously at the moment it's really hard coded. So what we do, we just force, you know, the client to, change the texture. At the moment is not really propagated to other clients, so I would assume that if another client joins, he's still seeing the old one. That is a good question. Yes, I would say so. So we also need to do that. So we also need to, let me try to connect with another client and we would see. Let me try to connect with another character, go there and check it, but I'm pretty sure it will show with the triangle, with the blue triangle. The reason is that I didn't do any replication, so that change at the moment is only client side. So unless Unreal Engine is super smart and for whatever reason is, but that would be an hindrance, you know, if he does it, because maybe in certain cases we want to have something only client side. What is the dwarf? Is there? I need the same daily override, otherwise it's getting night. Hello, bro. Why are you flying, by the way? Yeah, it shows like, it shows, I don't know if you can see it on your side, but I think you should be able to. It's the blue triangle. So at the moment the change appears only for the specific player because I did it client side, but it's fine. We can change it, we can expand it and make it, you know, more. I mean, we can make it, we can have it work properly. Okay, so just that in my test I didn't do it this way. Okay, so what's next? Well, the network replication definitely will be relevant. So, but before doing the network replication, I think we should decide how we want this to work, right? And maybe we could do a test also, or kind of a tattoo on the face of someone, or on the body. Because like we could have a specific symbol on the body, like on this big stone guy. Would be nice to have. I think it would be nice to have a kind of a symbol or something. So I'm just thinking, what is the best way if we need to do it? What is the best way? Well, first of all, we need the server to push for this message. So we need a new service server side, which is allowing the client to request for a symbol change. The server will decide if the symbol change is allowed or not, and based on that, it will send it to all the clients. I think it should be similar to the Equip. Yeah, I think it's very similar to the Equip. So I think we can do it. I'm just thinking, should we do it now or go through our list? So add a symbol to a shielding game like pressing a key. That is done. I just did it offline, so you didn't see me doing it. But if you want to know how I did it, it's pretty simple. So I define in the character blueprint my U key, and then I get the current material that is in the item, which is hold in the left hand. So you see that it's very hard coded, so it works only for the left hand at the moment. And after that, I create a dynamic material instance out of the current material, and then I change basically the texture. So I put another texture, and the current texture is hard coded, so it will always place that particular symbol, just because it's hard coded at the moment, but we will definitely change it in the future. Okay, so it's doing this. It's setting the parameter values, which are parameters on the material, and based on this parameters, it will set the material. It will set the new material. There is the dev Q&A. I don't think I'm gonna do the dev Q&A. I would like to continue with this. Can you do the dev Q&A without me? I don't know. I would like to continue with decals and go on. Yeah, there is an event in game, but I would like to continue this. Okay, so I think it is good. We should fix this guy is flying, by the way. He's definitely flying. Look at this. He's flying like a boss. So this is probably the reason why he's kind of jumping at the beginning, you know, why his form is I think he's not standing at the bottom of the, let me see. He's probably not standing at the bottom of the capsule. So if you go to characters, now if you go to blueprints, and we take our stone B character, so the capsule is here, but he is really high. I mean, the pivot seems to be 0, but in reality, you know, it's not 0 at all. So 0 would be something like this, I guess. For some reason, this guy is using, so let me try to remove the animation. So if I remove the animation, no, actually, if I remove the animation, it seems to be fine this way. The problem is that the capsule is too high. I mean, for this guy, the capsule is definitely too high. Is inherited from who? Is inherited from character. Okay. Yeah, but this capsule is too high for him, so I think we need to make it smaller. Because the alphate is 188, so it's 160, 170. I mean, it's really too high. This guy is 150, I think. So I think the capsule height should be like, alphate should be like 70 or so. And this will bring it to the actual size of the character. I can do this test and try to fix it. It's always a bit weird too, yeah, but now like his feet are touching the end of the capsule way, in the right way, so it seems to be better now. Also the top is matching. Yeah, I think it's better now. Let me just see if I do again use animation blueprint, because I would like to fix this, the fact that he's always flying. I think he's always flying because there is a problem, or there is a mistake on the animation blueprint. Yeah, I need to close the server and the client. What is the status of the work on guilds? Well, guilds are pretty much working. There is one guy, there is Soup, that is testing all the commands, but you can, you know, you can create a guild, you can add members to a guild, you can, so guilds are pretty much, you know, in good shape. Why this guy's jumping so much? I don't get it. So let me see if I can fix his animation blueprint. So if we go under Stone MB and we go in the animation blueprint, right? In reality, here is correct, but I have the feeling that these variables like is in air, is jumping, you know, is moving, this stuff is probably not set correctly. I think. Null 3 ref based jumpstart. What is that? This seems to be a copy paste. I mean, there is null 3 ref in here. So I think this has not been changed at all. blend space seems to be the correct one. Locomotion. Why this one is called Locomotion and the other ones are called differently? It looks like he's surfing. Yeah, exactly. Looks like he's surfing. Yeah, I think we should. So the character that works okay. So let me check which character works okay, because not all the characters are working okay. So the Noltri Ref. Is the Noltri Ref jumping as well? No, the Noltri Ref is jumping as well. So she's not a reference, okay, for our work. I think that the Crank character is working okay. Yes, the Crank character is working okay, is also walking okay. So this guy is correct. Now, can we check what is the difference between these two animation blueprints then? Let me check. So, well, the state machine is called, well, the state machine of this guy is like a beast compared to the other one. So the state machine here is like insane. First of all, it starts with an idle, and this one starts also with an idle, blend space idle. So let me try to compare this idle to the other idle. So this one goes as a speed and as blend animation space, but the speed is doing this. Okay, so this one seems to be fine. Now, why this guy is not doing it? Speed. Well, here it seems okay as well. I can try to remove the part of the code that is related to jumping and see if that makes a difference. You know, there is this jump start, jump end, jump idle. I think that this stuff, if I disconnect it for a second, I think it will probably be easy in air. Update animation. Set is in air. Is falling. So it's checking if this thing is falling. Let me see if this is also on the Cran character animation blueprint or not, because I'm not fully convinced actually that this is also on the Cran. Well, actually, yes, there is something very similar. There is the same code, get component is falling, set is in air, and then it's setting the speed based on if this character is falling. So it seems to be very similar actually. The difference is that here there is a kind of a sequence. Self get pawn owner, is it the same here? Well, here it doesn't have self, but I don't think, I mean, we can remove it, but I think it's the same, right? So it's basically doing this, get pawn owner, get movement component. Is this the same of this guy? Get movement component in pawn, get movement component in pawn. If it's valid, it goes into this sequence. Here there is not the sequence. Here there is simply if it's falling, set in air. So if is falling, target is nav movement component. Target is nav movement component. Yeah, seems to be exactly the same one anyway. I don't think he's doing all this crazy stuff, right? If he's moving on the ground. So can we try to disconnect for a second this other stuff and see? Because I'm not fully convinced that of what we are doing here. There is a branch for trying to get the vector speed. Trying to know if he's moving or not moving. Okay, this I understand. So it is setting the speed to 0. I don't know. Let me disconnect. But anyways, this one is going here. This one is going. No, but this will. Sorry, a bit confused because this will never work this way. Because it seems that this value is used here, but this branch is going from another branch. I don't think these two are gonna work actually. I think that this could be the mess. But anyway, let me disconnect them a second and see what happens, okay? So anyway, one goes here, one goes here, and one goes here. So I think we can easily redo it if needed. Let me just see if with this change is not jumping. Okay, I closed the only one that I had to keep open. I misclicked. Oh yes, it's not jumping anymore. So the problem is, no, wait, it's not jumping anymore, but I'm not using the animation. No, I'm using the animation. Okay, so it seems to be fine. Why now is so much high into the ground? Why is not standing on the capsule anymore? This may be a problem. Seems like there is an offset between him and yeah, this location minus 68. What is this location minus 68? There is something weird with the pivot point because it seems to me that it's not in the right spot. This guy is not in the right spot. Like the pivot is not where it should be. Like if I look at the Cran character and I select him, you see the pivot is exactly at his feet, while in this character the pivot is way below his feet, like way below, right? But I think that anyway now at least it's not jumping anymore. There is some mistake in his animation blueprint and in particular in this part. So let me try this again. I think it's this last piece. If I connect these two, I think it will probably still work. It's just the last piece. Yes, for now it's still working. If I connect the last piece, where is it? If I connect this one, it jumps. Yes. If I connect the last one, it jumps. So the error is there. Hello, yeah, the dev meeting is starting, but I think I would like to stay here, so there will be some people from the team handling the in-game meeting. I just would like to continue this because I think that it's needed. If there is any specific question, you can just message me and I will answer, okay? So if there is any specific question from the meeting, I think I can. So the problem is this part. Is doing if is moving on the ground, then set in air. Why is doing it twice? I don't understand. Like if he's falling, then we set in air, and then there is this part which is which we are doing it again. But so if he's on the ground, true, then it's not there. So for some reason it's not on the ground, and so it's let's disconnect these three, and I would say to be checked. This makes the character fly. This makes the child fly. Well, not fly, but let's say jump. Jump instead of idle. Right? So this is what it does. Instead of idle, so I disconnected it, so I think it's better. So at least we have our character which is working normally. Let me just see what happens in game now that we did this change, okay? Cannot save it because it's kind of running. Okay, so let me restart the client. So I think I should do it in all the animations for now, and then maybe this way can. Yeah, that seems to be okay. It's just not facing the right. It's still flying though. It's still flying. At least it's not doing the jump, but it's not facing the camera. Like the modern is okay. He's not facing the camera. That's the problem. He's not facing the camera. Why is not facing the camera? So if I yes, because it's not facing the forward vector. You see, the forward vector is this this thing, this blue thing there. So it's not facing it. So it should. So we should rotate it. There's no way. We have to rotate him. We need to rotate him 90 degrees. Yes, and now it will be facing the camera. The only issue I have is that I don't know why this pivot point is wrong. So I think that's why you have to do. I mean, if you are listening, you have to do something to have the pivot point imported properly on the character, because it's not correct. Even if now, let me check the other characters, but I think we have the same issue also with this character. Now this character was facing okay, but it was still flying a bit. I don't understand why she was flying. Even if here the capsule is pretty correct for her sides. And the pivot seems to be okay. Pivot seems to be okay. The capsule is 80, so it's 1 meter and 60 total. And she seems to be positioned correctly, but for some reason it's not touching the ground. Yeah, but you see, we have a lot of characters which are flying and not rotated properly, so I think we can fix them all. So the rotation. So let's fix the animation blueprint first. So I think I will disconnect in the animation blueprint just the third piece. There's sequence number 3. I will change it in all of them, so at least they are not flying. Right? For some reason I see that this guy though doesn't have all the pieces. It's missing one piece. At least in this preview, huh? Seems he's missing the torso in this preview. Head, arms, hands, legs, feet, hair. Yeah, he's missing one. Okay, now he also has the torso, which is nice. So we can save this. Okay, you're good with 3 devs. Very nice. Perfect. If there is any question, just ask me. Okay, so now the torso is here. Okay, so all of that now should be fine. Yes, now this is fine, this is fine. This will be refreshed soon. I don't know, sometimes it takes some time to refresh all the views. So now he's not flying anymore, which is exactly what we need, and we need to rotate him 90 degrees this way. Okay, so now he's also facing the right direction. Okay, let's just check the other characters. I mean, we have to fix them all, I guess, but I mean, it's not specifically for this session, right? But since we understood the problem, I think we can just try to fix them all. Like this one also seems to look forward. Yes, this one is the same problem. So it's looking forward and is not correct. So we can go and fix it. Open the animation. So let's disconnect this number 3. So she's not flying anymore. And then we will, now that she's not flying anymore, we will just rotate her 90 degrees. Right. And we can save it. Okay. Yeah, you should always follow this forward vector, which is made by purpose to show where the character is looking, and so you need to have your character looking in that direction. The other seems to be okay. No, the Noltri Ram seems to have the same problem, and it's flying as well. So also for this guy, we disconnect the number 3. We compile and save. Okay, now that I did it a few times, I think I'm a bit quicker. Huh? And we just rotate 90 degrees. Okay. Yeah, this one, for example, has the pivot in the right place. Some have the pivot right, others don't. Let me just check one thing also on the Stonebreaker. Why is holding the shield wrong way? We should go to the skeleton and see why the left hand is not correct. It looks correct from the left hand is this one. So why? Maybe we rotated it 2 times. I don't know. There is any weird rotation. Socket details, relative location, relative rotation. So we have a Z rotation, which is a lot. Like we did, maybe I can have a positive rotation instead of a negative rotation. That would even make it better. I don't know, because actually it looks okay. I mean, to me it looks like he's holding it right. Let's try to have a positive rotation instead of negative and see if that makes any difference. Okay, let's try it again. So let's launch the server and client. We have 4 devs now in the event. Wow. That's insane. Four people in the event. It's more than enough. They don't need me anymore. You just need me to release the Unreal Engine version. Then you're fine. Okay, it's taking a bit to log in, but it's okay. We will add a progress bar. If any one of you wants to help and wants to figure out how to make a progress bar at the beginning, that would be very nice. I mean, they're all flying in this freaking... Maybe it's just the podium position. Let me see if he's flying in-game. I want to see if he's flying here. Now you see in-game is not flying, so it's just the display in the podium map. So anyway, the shield is wrong anyway. It's rotated like 180 degrees. I don't know why. In this hand is correct. In the right hand is correct. Right? In this, well, it's not perfect, but anyway, it's okay. In the other hand is not correct. I don't know why. We will have to figure it out later on. Not now. And I think it's only for this character, because if I take another character, I think it works okay. I think it works fine. Okay. So, at least we fixed the fact that he's flying and everything, so I think it's good. I still don't like the camera position, so I think we'll have to change the camera position, and I really don't like it. So we will need to make it maybe a bit more, you know, at the back. And a bit higher, I would say. Okay. So, what do we want to do with decals? The question is, the question that we had is, which kind of decals we want to have? Which kind of decals we want to have? Well, I think at the minimum, I mean, it's not a hard question. I think it's an easy question, but I think we want to show belonging to a specific organization, or belonging to a specific religion, or belonging to a guild. I think these are the main ones that I think of, and they could be nice, you know, to have. It's kind of symbols. So I think there should be a religion, right? And for us is Lang, Seosia, Dakru and Talad. Putting myself at the bottom just for being humble. There should be also the Black Flame, but the Black Flame is actually not really known to players too much. So yeah, I would say, I mean, even Dakru will be weird to have as a symbol. So let's say that this one probably not, but these three definitely yes. And the question would be for you know, for religion for sure. For guilds, the difference is that if we do it for guilds, means that we need to have custom symbols, right? Custom symbol meaning that every guild will be able to send us so custom symbol approved, so created by people, created by players, approved by devs, and added to the game. So I think we should do it for the big guilds. I don't know if there will be like an achievement, you know, that when you reach, I don't know, 20 people, 30 people active in your guild. So it's based on a kind of a threshold kind of thing, and then you can get your symbol, and your symbol will be approved. And so just to avoid it is kind of a penis or something that we don't want to show. So, but yeah, it's approved by the devs and then is added to the game, right? That would be very nice. Now another one could be, and if you have any ideas, just let me know. Okay, just type in the chat in case you, I mean, if you have ideas on which kind of things we want to have. Then the other one could be associations and organizations. Like in the game we have jobs, and there is like a specific blacksmith organization or the merchant organization or things like this, and everyone could have his own kind of symbol, and you may be able to show it if you want. I mean, or if you are at a certain rank in a specific job organization. I don't know how to call it, but I think to me it will be like job organizations. So this could be, just as an example, merchants, you know, blacksmiths and such, and it could be based on the rank. Could be based on rank or faction score, right? So you could have multiple ones, you know, based on the level that you reached, the rank that you reached in a specific organization. And then what else? Well, for sure they will be the easiest. So these are more the symbols, right? But there will be also something like the tattoos. Do we want to have tattoos? I think we want to have tattoos, right? So something you can put on your face, on your body. I don't know too much, because anyway, people are like with armor or with clothes most of the time. So I think that having a function that adds a tattoo on the body is a bit of a waste, because we will, you know, yeah, waste of magic. I think waste of magic. I think this is more of a waste of magic is inside a job organization. I think it's part of this, so maybe I can just. It's like magic ways. Magic ways is like part of this, and I know you all love my Microsoft Paint. It's making things not so easy, but it's okay. It's okay. So yeah. So this could be magic ways, magic schools, right? So if you are a particular rank in a magic way, or to me this is part of jobs somehow. So tattoos, I don't know, because maybe it's a bit of a waste, you know, to do this functionality, because I don't know how many people would like really to have a tattoo on their face. And again, if you do it on the body, probably is never shown or is very rarely shown. So I don't know, tattoos, I would say maybe not. At the moment, I'm not too keen on this tattoo thing. So like, I mean, your face will have anyway not a lot of space. So even if you put, you know, something on your face, I think it's small. What do you want to have on your face? I mean, you cannot have a dragon, you know, something like that. Or maybe yes. I don't know. Maybe yes. But I don't know. I'm so on tattoos. You know, I'm not fully convinced that we have enough space on the body to really customize it enough. The face would be small. Makeup, yeah, makeup. I think makeup. Makeup will be. Yeah, makeup will be like face variation because we will have anyway face variation like we have today. You know, so. But do you think there would be enough makeup option for each race? I don't know. Maybe on the face. You're saying yes. And so basically what you're saying yes. You would like to have this tattoo option on the face. Okay, so let's put it in. I don't know exactly. So yeah, I don't know which kind, but there could be some kinds that we do. Now, so maybe it is kind of, yeah, makeup. So on which object? So the next question is on which objects items we want to apply the decals. That is very important for us because actually we don't have, you know, we don't have a system in place now that is applying the decals anywhere, everywhere, right? So our system is based on, like you have seen, on changing a specific texture and applying in a specific location of that texture the decal. So so this question is relevant, you know, because we will have to create predefined locations on our object where we put the decal. And so it can be, in this case, the shield, it can be a part of the armor. If you have like a tunic or a robe, I mean, it can be like a wizard robe or any robe, you can put it on top of it, but again, it should be specifically designed to be part of the robe. And depending on the color, you know, well, the color we can change anyway, so I think it's fine. But if I take like, let me just think about it. If I take like, we have some robes, I think, here somewhere. I think we had at least one robe, right? Yeah, like this one. So this is the robe of one character. This is the texture of the robe of one character. So what we could do, we could reserve a certain space, you know. But even here, you know, it can be here, it can be here. So there are multiple places where the symbol may go. And we may just reserve this space and then apply it as needed, right? Yeah, I think it's okay. I think on any piece of armor. Now, I don't think we should do it for every piece of armor, otherwise become crazy, because then people will have these freaking symbols everywhere. But I think we should allow, like, I don't want to have, you know, people that are full of symbols, like they put one on the shield, one on the armor, one on the leg, one on the foot, one on the glove, one on the arms, and one on the face, you know. So it becomes like an advertising man, like a sandwich man going around with advertising, you know? Yeah, so I don't think it will look cool. It will look just a mess, and we don't want the game looks like a mess. So I think we should choose like maximum 2 locations or 3 locations for the symbols, right? So one could be the shield, which I think is pretty cool. Another one could be the robe, and another one could be maybe the torso armor. So if you find a spot in the torso armor, fine. If not, you will put it on your shield. If you don't have a shield, I don't know what to do for you. So something like that. So I think it should be a limited number of locations, which can be, for example, the robe, the torso armor, or the plate torso armor, because at the moment we have 2 slots, or the shield. So I think we can go with this, you know. I think we can. And maybe the face. And maybe the face, like you said, you know. So like to have also the face as a potential placeholder. The potential placeholder for the decal. What do you think? The helm? The helm, I don't know the helm. The helm. Well, we actually have helms which make sense. We have other helms which do not make sense to have a symbol on. But yes, I think that if you have an helm and you want a symbol in the front of it, makes a lot of sense. Like if I take like the problem is, for example, that this helm, if I take the texture of the, well, you can have it here, but you will have it on both sides then. Yeah, for example, the way this texture is made will not be very easy to have it in the front of your face. Because if you want to have it in the front of your face, we will have to have the symbol split in half, you know, and placed here. So it has to be kind of symmetrical. And so, yeah, I mean, the way you make the texture makes a lot of difference on the way you can apply the decal. And that's the problem, I would say. It's the same for this one. Like this one has it embedded, you see. So like this thing, you could put it here on the side. I don't know why this one has this spotlights. Really, should not have it. This texture is a bit weird. Yeah, and this one is pretty much the same. You could have it on the side, but yeah, the helm is a possibility. I think that the way we did helms are not really making it easy for us to apply, but I think it could make sense. Makes sense. Robe, I mean robe for sure. I think robe is a must. Torso armor and plate torso armor I think is also kind of a must. Because I mean all the guards, you know, from the city and whatever, I mean, it makes sense that they have it. The shield is the best for me because usually they are kind of flat surfaces, easy to, you know, easy to put a symbol on, and the face, okay. I mean, the face, like if you want to have, so I think these are the, and the helm, I don't know, we can add the helm as a potential, but unfortunately our current textures are not really making it easy. Now, do we want it on something else like a guild house door? So that like when you are outside a guild house, you see there is a specific symbol of the guild outside. I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say that is for the character. And there would be also one for the scenery, for the outside items now. Now the problem of the the scene of the just city items is that then it becomes everything, so how do you know that the door is a door, right? There can be a small door, a big door, a portal, a gate, whatever, there can be so many different there can be so much different 3D art. So in that case, maybe we could use the other one, which is the Decal actor. Yeah, I think so. I think in that case, what we can do, we can add specifically Decal actor with option 2, with option 1. So let's say that these ones, so these ones are using option 1. No, sorry, I'm using option 2. So option 2 above, right? So which is this one here. But then we can have it on the city somewhere. So in any place, any place in the scenery, anywhere, anywhere. In my point of view, this will be anywhere. So it can be on a rock, it can be whatever, anywhere. I mean, rocks, walls, doors, anywhere. And the difference is that they will be using option 1 and we will have a list. So I think that is a bit easier for me because I can have inside the level, we can put one just for fun, but I can have inside the level Decal actors which are using this and are splitting. I mean, we could even have players being able to spray, being able to spray a chest. On chest, yes, on chest, I think could be a good idea. Like you have to flag, you have to flag the specific chest for something, or I don't know. I mean, again, depends if it's part of the scenery or if it's a player item. But for example, will be very nice, and I'm thinking now to tribes. Now we have the concept of tribes in Planeshift, which are monsters that are basically creating their own villages and expanding. It would be very nice if they could mark the territory with their symbol. So I mean, seeing one of our creatures going around and then marking the territory with a symbol, that would be amazing. I think I would really be excited seeing it. Would be very nice. And in that case, you will have to choose a predefined set of decals, which yes will be applied with option 1. Will be applied with option 1. Yes, be applied with option 1. So, but anyway, both of these lists have to be managed, right? So we need a list of decals in the database with a list of possibilities to be applied to, because obviously I don't want to apply the one I have in the face, right? I don't want to apply a makeup to a shield, right? I guess. Well, that's probably the only case in which is not, is not interchangeable. For all the others, probably it is interchangeable. So all our symbols can be. So this face tattoo makeup is a bit of a different thing. I think we will do it probably later on, but is making our symbols not interchangeable anymore. And so we need to keep a list specific for that. Okay, so I think that's good. Then the other question was how the player will add the decal. How will the player add the decal? I think is written wrong in English. How will the player add the decal? So I think in this case we need to do a difference. So if it's option 1 or if it's option 2. Because if it's option 1, right, I think it's different. If it's option 1 is automatically fixed position, and so it's basically probably through an achievement in the game where it says, okay, now you are rank blah 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 in blacksmith, and so you gained the symbol blacksmith adept, you know, and you can apply to your equipment, right? So so I think for all the ones in option 1, excluding the face, which again the face is a bit of a mess for me because is breaking the law. I mean, is a different thing. It's like apples and bananas, you know. So it's different things. But so for option 1, I think would be pretty simple. So is what we say here, based on rank or faction score, he obtains the decals, right? We have to think how to do it, but basically that's the thing. So when he obtains the decal, then he will have like a list, like a UI. We have a question on the UI here at the bottom, but so I think I can remove this. Based on rank, faction score, etc. Then the other one is how will the player add the decal with option 2? Option 2, and this one for me should be like should be like interactive in game, so like that you can actually click. You will have, it's like painting, you know, so it will be able to click on the ground or click whatever and apply the decal and rotate it. So it should select. I mean, obtaining the decal will be the same. I think we are answering to another question, though. We are answering to the question below. So you just have to click on stuff to get to see the two chats. So I think we are answering to how is obtaining the decal, right? I think I'm making a bit of a mix between these questions, actually. I think I'm making a bit of a mix because how we will add the decal, I think it is something like the UI, right? Yes. Yeah, so I think the question is how the player is obtaining the decal, and I think we said, you know, based on rank or faction score, he obtains the decal and it goes like into his library of decals he can apply, and I think this will be exactly the same for option 1 and option 2. I think it makes no difference, you know. It will not be different. Yeah, I think it will be the same. Then the question is how how the UI will look for selecting the decal you want and apply it. That is a very good question. So again, I think I need a database entry. So I need a new table somewhere. I need a new table somewhere which is listing all the decals that we have available, and I need specific quests or specific ranking. We have to decide which will trigger the availability of this decal to the player. And then it needs to have a UI. I mean, it needs to have a specific UI where it selects the decal and applies to. So let me try to sketch something and see if we get anywhere. What is this? So let's say we have our character, right? So it will be the best would be to have a sample character. Because I mean, if we have the predefined locations like this, if we have predefined location like robe, torso, armor, plate, armor, shield, and face, I think it would be pretty easy. Because you could have, let me just check. You could have. I mean, you could have like a small drawings of a robe or a cloak or whatever it is, you know, and you select it. So this one will be like in a selection thingy, and you will have your torso armor and everything else. So I'm sorry, I cannot draw. So there's no way I'm able to draw something, but mainly also with the mouse is not really helping. But let's say this may be your robe, this may be your torso armor, and then you will have similarly, you know, your shield, and shield is easy because it's so you will have here your shield, and then you can just have a set of symbols you can drag through, you know. So you can have a list of available decals, right? Maybe with a description, because the best would be to have it with a description. So yeah, you will have like the whatever triangle decal with the whatever thingy decal, and here will be like blanks, blah blah blah. You obtained this, why you got this, because, you know. There could be a small description, and then you just select it and you decide to put it on top of this. Now, do we want to show it here? I don't know if they will be very easy, because here I think we will not be in 3D. Here we will be more in 2D. But yeah, but it will be like a scrollable list, right? Scrollable list of stuff, and yeah, scrollable list of stuff, and you will have all your decals. One made like this, another made like that, and maybe you also have a list of the one you still have to obtain, you know. So these are, I don't know, blacksmith. You adapt in this inside. So you just drag and drop one on the left, and they get applied, something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking to have something like this, and it will be one for each location of the character. And this will be like your character decals, right? Now, there could be also a location. Maybe it is too big, so this is not really gonna work well because I have to make these icons way smaller. But okay, you got the point. Yeah, the stretching here will never work well. But let's say that yes, you have this location somehow, and then you may have also one location which is like paint into the world, no? So it's the one that you just used to paint. And the one that you just used to paint, you can still select the same symbols, I guess, because I think they will be exactly the same. They will be exactly the same symbols, but it will be like a hand, you know. And you can say, okay, I have this decal selected. I have this decal selected to be painted in the world, and then when you go around, there will be like a special key, maybe a special tool. Maybe we'll have a special tool, you know. There will not be a bottle of spray because we are in a medieval world, but we will have like yeah, like something you can draw with, like a brush, right? Like a brush, and you can paint in the world, and this will be option 2, right? Yeah, I think something like that, it will make sense to me. And maybe we can have like a small symbol and also a description, so the guy knows what is doing, you know. And so having all the location, torso armor, plate armor. I think we should also have plate, shield, face. I really don't know. Face. I think it should be maybe a different because the problem is that with face, I don't like this symbol on the face. I don't like these symbols on the face. I like makeup on the face, but not these symbols on the face. I don't like it. So I don't think anyone will paint, you know, one of these symbols on his face. I think will be more. So plate armor, I have no idea how to do it. I will do exactly the same. Whatever, more spikes. I have no idea. Okay, this is your plate armor. Okay. So robe, torso armor, plate armor, shield, and then face I don't like, so for now I will exclude. And then there is the paint into the world, you know. So it is like through a brush. It is like through a brush add to world, you know. So, and this would be very fun, I think. If it's done like that, one player can do just a number of them. So I think it will be a limited number of paint. And you will have like, yeah, you will have like this, like the different locations, and then the fact if they are assigned or not. So this will be like your location, and this will be like what is assigned, and you can also remove it. And the assign will basically be the same. So, right? So it will be a bunch of these things. Exactly the same. So same, boom, 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 boom. You have this assigned, is not assigned. I messed up with the sides. Okay. Anyway, you get the point. You get the point. Does it think it works okay for you, or do you have any other suggestions, idea on how to do it? Is it making sense to you, or no? Is it simple enough to use and to understand? right? So I don't know. You will have this one assigned here. Doesn't fit. Yes, it does. Right? And something like that. And that will show your. And then we show, yeah, we show the decal on your character. Make sense or no? Make sense or no, boys? Let me just save it as Unreal Mission decals too. Unreal Mission decals. Why don't I have it? Unreal Mission minigames exchange decals. We save it at decals too. Make sense? Okay, we can do something like that. The problem is that we need to build a whole system for this, because today we don't have a database table to store any of this. Today we don't have a way to assign a decal to a character. Today we don't have quest script capabilities to, from a quest, assign one of those. So we are really missing a lot to actually be able to do this. So it's a work by itself, you know. It's really a work by. It's really a project within the project. This one, so it doesn't have much to do with migration. Okay, so we have it there. Now another question was, how can I customize my decal? I think if you allow them to customize position and scale, it may look very bad. It may look very bad. I don't want the game to look bad in any possible way. So I think that even if we could, we don't want people running around with like huge symbols on their shields or on their face or on their armor. Like the wall armor is one huge symbol, you know, and looks bad. I don't want that to happen. So I think that color, I think that what we can, well, rotation, also rotation I think would look bad. Like if you put a symbol that is upside down, I don't really like it. I don't really like it. So I mean, color can be very flashy, but at least the color I think we should allow. I think at least the color we should allow. I mean, if you want to make a symbol of Talad purple, I mean, you can. I mean, it's not the best, but maybe it fits well with your robe, you know. So the point is that as you are switching maybe different robes, the color makes a difference, and I don't think that we can predetermine all the freaking colors ourselves based on the choice of equipment. That would be like super crazy. We'd never be able to do this. And so we need to have, but we want to have a good matching. And so, like in the image you see here on the right, the red color fits very well with this shield, and hopefully the player will select that color, right? Hopefully we'll select that color. So I would say scale no. I would say rotation no. I would say color yes. That is my suggestion. just to keep, you know, just to keep things sane in terms of quality of what you see in game. Yeah, I don't know what you think, but I'm pretty convinced that if we allow too many changes, we will start to see in game like crazy stuff. Just people just, I don't know if you have seen Atlas and people making like stupid character in Atlas, like super fat or like, yeah, super fat with super small legs. They were not even looking human, you know. So I don't want to have in our game characters like this. I don't want to have them. So and so for this reason, I think we should limit. Yeah, we should limit this. Is it all? I mean, is it all we should discuss, or is there more? Or is there more? Because this could be a small project for someone that is interested in building it. You know, if someone is interested in building, because the system is in place, what we need the database part. We really need the database part, and I don't know. I mean, if we should do it, if I should do it myself, and now, I mean, now meaning in the next few days or weeks. But this is kind of a project within the project. Is completely new. It's something that we require time, and is not really porting of what we have. I mean, it will be a nice addition to the game at the beginning, but I mean, to the Unreal release, like to have something that never existed before. These face tattoos, I think we have to think about it, because it's breaking a bit the logic that I just explained up to now. Because it's not really symbols of organizations, it's not really symbol of, you know, I don't want someone to put on his face a blacksmith organization. I mean, I don't want that. I think it would look bad, it would look silly, and I don't like it. But obviously there could be option to customize your face, yes, for sure. But I think that's so. Face tattoo makeup, boys. For now, I will park it. I will put it in the parking lot, and face tattoo makeup is in the parking lot for this. I think we can do it differently, so we can just have different face customizations, and maybe some of those customization is makeup or tattoos, but it's just dedicated to that, and can be done with this system. Yes, I think it can be done with the same system, or it can just be done with blending of texture on top. Also, because I think if we are speaking of face, I mean skin, I think if you're speaking of skin, I think that the blending should be different. You know, so it's not just overimposing an image, but it should be more blended. Like it looks is part of the skin. So I think we have to do it differently for the face. Yeah. So I will remove the face for now. Okay, good. I think it was a very good discussion. I think this is exactly what I wanted to go through. I think we have a prototype now. Do you think I should go on and start to make this, or should we go and do something else, you know, and continue to port the game properly? I mean, I can build this system. I don't see it too complex. Now that we have a prototype on EU, I don't think it's too complex. I mean, it will be a matter of adding some database tables, creating a UI, ensuring that when the character selects something, it goes to the right slot. We will need to have categorized the specific objects, but we already have. So the shield, we know that the shield is a shield, because if I go into my database, okay, no, database I think is not open, but anyway, if I go into my database, we have a specific flag for shields, we have a specific flag for robe, specific flag for armor. So we know exactly when a certain piece of equipment is belonging to that categories, and so we will be able to then do this job. I mean, I think we will be able to do this easy. The scenery like rocks, walls, doors, everything else, I think is a bit harder, so it would be like option 2 of this system. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be like an option 2 of this. Okay. I don't know if do you have any other comments, ideas, or suggestions, or anything else? People in Twitch, people in YouTube, you know. Okay, I think that's good. That's good for decals. I don't think I should. Maybe the only thing I can do, I can build a system that is like server side. I think that could be a good thing to do, because at the moment the decal is showing only on one client, and that's pretty stupid. We will have to do it anyway, being sent from client to server. So I think there is something that we can do now. Having the decal properly getting requested and sent back from the server to the client. So the client should just, yeah, let's do this now. So this was a good discussion. Maybe we should have another task, which is here, which is publish the decal to all clients. So that all clients can see that the decal has been applied, right? Yeah. So to do that, what we need to do is, first of all, we need a new function in PS character. Can be very similar to the one that we do for equipment, if not exactly the same, but I mean is very similar. Actually, I'm thinking if we should keep it together with a keeping an item or not. Well, there are two cases. There is a case when I already choose a decal and then I keep an item. And so yes, in this function I will have to check if the decal has been requested, and if the decal has been requested I have to apply it. Yes. And then there is another case in which I already have the item equipped and I'm just changing the decal, right? So there are these two cases. So at the moment I think we can work only on the second one, but the first one is not much different. We will just have to extend from here and just say, okay, now check for the specific decal and apply it. So it will be pretty easy. When we did the second, the first one would be like easy to do. Very easy to do. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go and do it. I need another event which must be called like exactly like this one, which must be called by the server side, and it must be blueprint callable implementable event. So yeah, I had to close the thing, you know, is opening again. Now we have to make it generic enough. So we have to make it generic enough. So we have to think, well, I think in this case will be character, right? Will be this one. Yeah, I think will be this one. So it will be this line, right? So we need to set. So we need to create a new function in PS character. If we take our keep item, I think it's pretty much the same. It's like this one, right? It's like this one. Okay. Now we need to think which are the parameters of this thing, because again, or we put the decal here, because how does it? I mean, if I do two separate functions, imagine that I do like a keep decal on item. Okay, so it will be something like this: a keep decal on item. So if I do it like this, then I will have to call two separate functions when I'm keeping one item, and I will have to go anyway through the server side. They will go asynchronously to the client. I think it's a bad idea. I think I should have it inside my keep item function. Because if I have it inside my keep item function, I can do it in one shot. I can publish the symbol. Yeah, I think I should have it like this. I should have it inside this existing function. And then I can also have another one which is separate, which is the keep decal on item if the item is already there. But I have to be sure that the item is kept. I have to be sure that the item is kept. And then what happens? I will have one additional parameter. So it's like adding an additional parameter here, right? And the parameter, what will be? The parameter will be the texture and the color, right? We just need to pass. So we decided that we can customize the color, and obviously we can customize the symbol itself, right? So the only thing I need is a const f vector color and a const do we make it a texture already, or do we make it a string and then so we pass the string? Yeah, I think we pass the string, and then we load this, and then we load the thingy. Yeah, I think so. So this will be like an f string that we pass through, which will be the decal texture. Okay. Okay. Keeps a decal on a specific item, right? So the second one will need the actor, so we need to know who is the guy that has to do this. We need to have a location, and in this case I think we can have an item description. Yes, exactly like is here. I don't think we need the keep or not a keep, because if you are removing the decal, I think we can keep an empty decal, something like that. Yes. And so we will need the color and the texture. So the difference between these two functions is just that I'm not going to keep again the item, but it's pretty much the same, right? It's pretty much the same. So when the guy will be in the UI, when the guy will be in this UI and will be clicking on a symbol, and it will take a symbol and bring it to an assigned thing. So whenever it will do this, we will trigger this function. The keeps decal on a specific item. In case, obviously, we have at least one item of that type kept, because if we don't have, then okay, there's nothing to do. There is nothing to do. Yeah, so our function, yeah, I think it's pretty clean like that, right? So let's imagine that I have an item already equipped, like a shield, and I'm just changing the decal on it from the UI. That will just trigger request decal change, right, from client to server, and the server then will call this one, equip decal on item. If instead I don't have anything equipped, I change the decal, and then I equip a shield later on, then when I'm equipping the shield later on, this equip item will pass through also these other variables. So I will check if there is something, there is a decal on it, or there is a decal setting on it. Yeah. The problem is that this system is relying on the fact that I'm storing somewhere which kind of decal I have on my character, but at the moment we are not storing it anywhere, because we don't have a database structure for it. We don't have a we don't have anything like that. So I don't know exactly. So at the moment I think we would assume just that it's always the same. But yeah, but I think I like these two functions. I think these two functions are okay for what I can see now. Then obviously we will change it if needed, but the only point is that if we should pass a material texture here, or if we should pass just a string and then search the texture client side. I don't know exactly if there is a big difference on that, but to me seems okay. To me seems okay. Okay. So if I recompile this, so this, well, no, before I compile it, so this is one of the things that I need. Then I need another thing, which is the request to change the decal, right? And the request to change the decal should be, I think, on player controller, the same way we have on our player controller the request to change an equipment. Right, so if I go under the Planescape player controller and I check for inventory functions, inventory and exchange, when I send move item, right? Yes, in this send move item, if you look at our code in Unreal, if I look at our code in Unreal of this, is in Planeshift player controller send move item message, and this one is getting called by my slots. So when I move, yeah, inside slots, and it is, which is then calling this. Okay, fine. So in the same way, exactly in the same way, inside my Planescape player controller, I should put a new function, We can still keep it under inventory and exchange. I think it's okay. I have a lot of receive and no request. Do I have very little request in inventory? Because this is the only request, actually. Yeah, that's why. Okay, we'll put it down here, and this will be a function like this one, exactly the same. Will be like this one. The difference is that this will be PS items. Okay, I mean PS items is not the best, but yeah, PS items. Yeah, okay. This will be called request decal change, right? Request decal change. So the client is requesting to the server a decal change of any kind, and in this case for us would be pretty simple. So it must be, if you go back to our UI, it must be one of these locations in one of these symbols. So or we put an ID and we keep an ID during the wall thingy, and probably is the best, right? Or we keep, so what is the best to do? Should we keep an ID which should correspond to the ID in the database? Yeah, probably is the easiest, right? And we publish that client side, and client knows which is the ID, and then set it back to the server and so we just move an int. I think that's probably the easiest. And the location, I think we already have a location enumeration. Don't remember exactly, but I think we have a slot. Yes, we have a slot, which by the way is an int, and I don't know if we already change it to a number, but probably not. Let me see. I think we have a slot like, let me search right hand, left hand. I think we have something like that. Switch to enter it is. I think we should just use the same, exactly the same thing. So it's just an integer with the location selection. A keep item slot, a keep item. Let me just see if in this code we were doing something more smarter than this or not, but I don't think so. PS character, keep item, event. A keep item is an implementable event. It gets actor. A keep item slot is a F key, a captain description, which is getting slot is just an int. It's not an enumeration. Okay, well, maybe it's not the best. It's not enumeration, but we could change it to an enumeration later on. Maybe it would be a bit better to have it actually as an enumeration, but okay, but it's fine. It's fine. I think we can keep it as an int. So in our case, now this becomes, I'm requesting on my character, because I can request it only for my character, so I don't have to pass in the actor. We don't care. I'm requesting on a specific location, which will be the slot, a specific decal, right? A decal ID. So that's the only thing I need, right? And this request decal change, we will have to implement it obviously in player controller base, and it will look like this, and we can put the usual printout just for Be sure that we track what is happening. And we can, this will be two integers. One will be slot, and the other will be decal ID. Okay. So now in this function, what we will have to do, we will have to, first of all, we need to see if you want to have a decal manager. I don't think we should have a decal manager. I think it should be inside one of the existing managers. I think the one managing the inventory, I think, is more than enough. Let me just see when I do the slot change. Well, the slot change actor is inside slot manager. Well, we can use slot manager. We can extend slot manager to also handle decals. Why not? I mean, anyway, we are moving stuff between. Is related to the inventory, is related to the slot. So it could be. It could be in this. I would say it could be in this. So what we need to do, we will have to create a new function inside slot manager, which is actually handling the decal stuff. And this function can be called also because we need to think if the decal is a separate table or we add it as. In theory, the best would be to add it into the item description, right? So the problem is that then we will have to change database, and we will start to make some. We start to diverge from the code base of the original plan shift, meaning the database will not be easy to migrate then, which I don't know if I like. But the point is that here in slot manager we could add. Let me see if this database is starting. Yes. So for sure we will need a database table for the list of decals that are available, and also the list of decals that the player achieved, or anyway player can use, right? But in terms of knowing which item as a decal, no, it cannot be placed on the item instances, because if you put it on the item instances, they will be a mess, because this is one for it. No, absolutely not. No, we will not change item instances. It has to be a separate table. Yeah, it has to be a separate table. It will be a separate table. We need 3 tables, and yeah, will be a separate table for sure. Otherwise, I mean, it cannot be put on the item itself. So slot manager will get a new function, and this function will be, I think we can call it the same, request decal change, right? We can call it the same, and it will get the slot, and we get the decal ID, and this function will be responsible for validating that particular player can use the decal, and will be also responsible for calling the change. So I think we can do it now. So let's go in slot manager, and in slot manager, yeah, this one is handling drag and drop messaging from clients. Okay, so we are changing a bit, we are extending it a bit, but it's just because I don't want to create another manager, for this. So this is manages the request change decal on specific location or item location on specific keep location. Okay, with a point at only a certain number of this will be like this, very simply. Request decal change, and so this one we then have to implement as well, and this one will be slot manager. Okay, let me just try. I'm checking just the chat sometimes to see if you are typing something, because so this one we'll have to, well, to do quite some stuff. So we'll have to validate the player can access that particular decal. This is just because people are going to send to the server invalid data just to keep something they cannot keep. So we have to do this validation. And then you will have to, when it's validated, you will have to definitely switch it in memory somehow, so that it knows the server should keep track of the fact that we have a decal equipped. Okay. In the memory structure holding this information, or whatever it is. We didn't create it yet, so but we will have a structure that will keep that. I think it will be part of the character. Yeah, I think we will extend PS character to have an additional to his equipment also the decals equipped, but it's okay. And then it will just send the message to change decal to all clients, right? So this will basically display the decal on the clients, on all the clients. So it will broadcast the message. So this is more than send, is broadcast. So it will broadcast the message to all clients, including obviously, including the one that started the request, including the owner or whatever, including the guy that started the request. So this is what this function should do. And this one, I think here we need the actor though. We need to know who started the thing. Yeah, because if we don't have this, it will not work. So we need to have the same way we do other times. We need to get the pawn of our character, and we'll have to pass in also the pawn. And this means that the signature of our method in slot manager will change. There will be also this. Yes, we can call it from client. Okay, this is fine. And also here it will become like this. And so here at a certain point we are gonna do our from client. And for now we can do it, well, it has to be for all the characters, huh? It has to be for all the characters. So it will be a broadcast. It will be the same as we do the keep message. If I search the keep message, keep item, no. Come on. I had to put the I uppercase and I didn't, and so now it's not searching, it's not finding it. How many freaking lines? a keep item in, okay, let's do all open documents, but is in PS character, yes, here. So we have to do it in the same way. So no. Send out a keep messages, actor a keep item. Is it this one? I think it's this one, but then it means wait a second. It means that I have to search for this. No, this is not work. This is not. I'm a bit confused because actually I was expecting a cycle on all the characters to send out, you know, the information that this is because it is a replicated object, I think. Is it possible that is because it's replicated that it doesn't need to do it out? Yeah. Because I was expecting, you know, to see a kind of a cycle for all the characters. But I don't see it. One second, I'm a bit confused. Because here we should have, I mean, a keep item should be in theory sent to all the characters. Display visual part of the inventory to clients. Yeah, exactly, but this one is going only to one client, right? It's going only to this character. I'm not cycling on anything, right? Probably because components are automatically replicated. Set it no, the trick is here because I'm setting this to be replicated actor, and so everyone see it changed. I'm executing this on the server, right? I think I am. So I'm just thinking if I change the material and I do it server side, will everyone see it? Considering that the actor is replicated anyway, maybe they see it automatically. So I have to, yeah, I have to check that because maybe I don't need to do anything else than just calling my how did we call it on PS character? We called it a keep the decal on item. Okay, this one. I think that probably I don't have to do anything else than this, where I need to pass in the client. Okay. which by the way is myself. So, but anyway, let's pass it in anyway. Then I have to create this slot. Yes, I will have to create a new equipped item description to understand which is the slot, or I just pass in a slot ID. Maybe I can just pass in a slot ID. Why I need this? The color we didn't specify it in this request, but the color should be there, and then I need to find out the texture. So yeah, so the color we need to pass in as well. So I think we always need to pass in a color. The texture we have, but the color we need to pass it on, and we didn't. F vector color, okay. And this one, request decal change. Wait a second. Yeah, I forgot the color here as well. Oh, why? But I had to do it. Is there a way to transform a vector into a string? I think there is a toString, right? I think there is a toString of. I think there is. I don't remember exactly, but I think there is a way to. There is something like that. So anyway, my request decal change now has also a vector. This is a vector, and this one as my color as well. Okay, so this is a bit more in line with what we want to have. Is not accessible. Okay, we can make it. Public. Oh, this is all private stuff. Wow. Why is private? Why we could call the other one then? I have no idea. Because it was here, handle slot movement. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so this way I think we have everything set up to be able to receive a keep decal on item. Wait a second. A keep decal on item. A keep decal on item. Is on PS character. Yes, he has the color and the texture. So color is fine, but then we also need the texture. The texture for now to be done texture. Okay, so I will have to do it. So because now we need to figure out the previous steps before arriving here. But this will be the flow, right? This will be the flow. So whenever I click on the UI on change decal, I will call my function in PlaneShift player controller, which will be request decal change. That will have sorry, this one also needs the F vector, otherwise it doesn't work. So I will call this right, and this one we'll call this one. We will just print out something. They will search for my pawn. We'll go into slot manager. Slot manager we'll do this request decal change, and which is this one, request decal change. We'll just validate that he can do it, switch the decal in whatever, and broadcast the message to change all clients, right? So, and this will be when changing the decal. Then the other thing would be to be sure that when we keep an item, I will have the decal attached. Okay, so I think that the structure is okay. I think this was before I saved it. I think the structure is okay. We need to so just switching between the different windows. Okay, I think the structure is fine. Okay, I think unfortunately I have to go because tomorrow I have a lot to do and I have to wake up early and such, but I think we made some good progress. At least we decided how to proceed with the decals, and if some of you wants to help me and let's say and implement these functions, let me know. So maybe I go on with other stuff and you implement this stuff. The point will be to ensure that we create kind of a UI, you know, on the client side to do it. And we will have to expand this mission a bit because at the moment is, yes, publishing the decal to our client, but also we need to build the UI. So, so here we have build the UI to select the decals, and it is also something we'll have to do. This part at the bottom is more of the, let's say, the reasoning behind, so it's not the mission itself, but it's more the, so maybe throw a line between it, that, so it's not the mission, it's more of the reasoning behind, right? Yeah, but I think I will call it a day. We made good progress and we defined a lot of stuff, so we need a bit of the art to be created, but first we need the system to be built as well. So is I think it's good. Yeah, because now I expanded it with the decal. Okay, I will fix it offline. I will fix it offline. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. And next week I will not be able to stream, unfortunately, because I'm traveling and I will not be here. I think that I'm coming back. Let me check. I'm coming back. I don't know when I'm coming back. I have to go and check. But I think I'm coming back Friday. Yeah, I'm coming back. I will be available Friday. I don't know if Friday will be able to stream. Probably not. So most likely we will see each other next Saturday. But don't worry. In the meantime, I think I can do a bit. I can reason on some stuff. I can complete some stuff. So we will have anyway some progress in between. Okay. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. So probably the next Saturday. See you, boys.